schmoozing
That's
time.
smooth.
It's schmoozing time. It's schmoozing. Let's schmooze a little bit. Today, a federal judge in Texas temporarily blocked a move by Joe Biden to halt the deportation of immigrants without criminal records for 100 days. So as quick as he signed an executive order, there is a judge who's overturning it. U.S. District Judge Drew Tipton, an appointee of none other than the Pumpkin in the Southern District of Texas, issued a temporary restraining order that blocks the policy nationwide for 14 days. This follows a legal challenge by the State Attorney General of Texas. The Biden administration said they're going to appeal immediately. They were expecting this to happen. You know, Biden took office on Wednesday, and the top official at the U.S. Department of Homeland Security issued this memorandum on the same exact day that Biden took office. It was a campaign promise to pause the deportation of many immigrants, mostly those without criminal records, so they can figure out who are the people that they should be deporting, who are the people they shouldn't. They were going to do a top-down review of everything that the Department of Homeland Security was doing under Donald Trump. They needed this 100 days to review. They didn't want to deport people and then deport the wrong people or deport people that really didn't deserve to be deported. But now the Texas judge in the Southern District of Texas overturned the Biden administration. Basically, the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, said that Texas, the state, would have irreparable harm if people didn't get deported. They would be irreparably harmed if people didn't get deported. If people got to live in America for an extra 100 days, Texas would never be the same state again. It would be a horrible, horrible existence for the people of Texas.
It would all just go downhill in 100 days.
Right. It would all go down the drain for Texas. It would be a disaster, all right? Disaster zone,
Right.
all right? I mean, we'd have to call in FEMA for federal emergency. I mean, God knows we keep for 100 days immigrants without criminal records in America for an extra 100 days.
That's crazy.
Well, you know what's really interesting about the entire thing is that you could almost tell, depending on where the lawsuit starts, what's going to happen. Every time Trump passed an anti-immigration executive order, there was a lawsuit in California, generally in San Francisco, in the Ninth Circuit. Those are the most liberal federal judges. Those were mostly appointed by Democratic presidents, and those were the judges who overturned many, not all, but many of the executive orders. On the same token, the Southern District of Texas, one of the most conservative districts, mostly the judges assigned or confirmed by Republican presidents and Republican administration. This particular judge appointed by Donald Trump. If you remember back in the days of DACA and DAPA, one of the people who watch us is DAPA. I always call her Deferred Action for Parent Arrivals. DACA and DAPA were similar executive orders that were signed by Obama at the same time. And DAPA was for parents of children of U.S. citizens not to be deported. And that was overturned by the same district court in Texas. So they bring the anti-immigration people or advocates, they bring lawsuits in the Southern District of Texas because those are the most conservative judges, and you can bet my bottom dollar that almost every conservative judge in the Southern District of Texas is going to side with the anti-immigration lobby. And you could also bet my bottom dollar that almost every liberal judge in the Ninth Circuit will be in favor of pro-immigration lobby. So in the end, it's just what you would call in legal terms forum shopping. Meaning forum shopping is a term where you say, I'm going to pick the court where I'm going to get the best result. So you're not going as an anti-immigration advocate, somebody who doesn't want immigrants in America, who wants immigrants deported. You are not going to go in California and bring that litigation in California. You're going to bring it in Texas because that's where you're going to find the most sympathetic judges for your cause. And on the same token, if you notice that for the last several years, most of the executive orders that got overturned were either by New York judges or California judges. Mostly California, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cali.
We will see what happens with that. Biden said he's going to appeal. Now, obviously, even though they will not officially stop deportation, Biden's people are running Department of Homeland Security. They can certainly slow their feet down a lot. So even if they are forced to deport people, it's not going to be massive, massive deportations and massive raids like you saw under Donald Trump. Because they can certainly slow it down anyway. They could say, yes, we're deporting people, we're doing the best we can, but I'm hanging out today, I don't really have much to do.
Right.
So they could certainly slow things down anyway, even with this ruling. I wouldn't be overly concerned for people other than it was nice to say and feel good and say, if you are in deportation, well, nothing's going to happen to me for 100 days. Now, we don't necessarily know for sure. The other big immigration news of the day is for everybody who's traveling into the United States now, as of today, Tuesday, January 26th, you got to take a COVID test, even American citizen, even a green card holder, even somebody coming on a student visa or a visitor's visa. The United States is requiring every person who gets on an airplane from another country, international travel, not national travel, international travel coming from another country, you must take a COVID test within 3 days of getting on an airplane and show you are negative. So if you're an American who decides to go to Mexico, to Tulum, boss lady, she likes to go to Tulum. I know what she likes to do. Okay, so if you decide you want to go to Tulum for a vacation, you need to take a COVID test before you come back, or they won't let you on the plane, even as an American. You would have to quarantine. If you are positive, you would have to stay in the hotel, quarantine, go through your symptoms and your disease of corona. Hopefully you're not sick enough to go to a hospital in another country. And once your symptoms have abated, take another test, show that you are symptom-free, and then get on an airplane.
So I know when I went to St. Thomas,
St. Thomas is the United States, so you didn't have to worry about that. You need a COVID test. Now, the COVID test that you can take is either a PCR, which is the nasal one, and that's almost 100% accurate, or you can take the rapid test from Abbott, which is about 75% accurate. They're going to accept those too. The rapid test gives you a result in 15 minutes. So if you're in a jurisdiction that can't get back a COVID test within 96 hours, what's 3 days? 24, 48, 72 hours, excuse me. So if you can't get it back within 72 hours, they will accept an Abbott test. And you're going to have to get something certified from a doctor, and you have to print it out and show it before you get on the plane, or the planes are not going to let you on. That's what's happening with immigration today. We still don't know, Vanessa, what is actually the written words in the bill that Joe Biden submitted for the immigration reform. Again, it's just what we read in the newspaper. So I don't have additional information at this moment to share with everybody on what is actually the details of the amnesty and what is being debated. Hopefully we'll know more tomorrow. Meanwhile, President Biden has taken 33 executive actions on his first 6 days in office, and there are more to come. Biden rejoined the Paris Agreement on climate change. He revoked a permit that Trump granted to the controversial Keystone XL pipeline and placed a temporary moratorium on oil and gas leasing in the Arctic. Trump gutted environmental regulations, attempted to bail out coal miners, installed a former coal lobbyist to lead the EPA, and brokered a deal with OPEC to rescue shale oil producers. Now, Senator Ted Cruz, he was mocked on social media. He said by rejoining the Paris Climate Agreement, President Biden indicates he's more interested in the views of the citizens of Paris than the jobs of the citizens of Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, the Paris Agreement was just signed in Paris. It has nothing to do with the citizens of Paris. It was an international agreement to reduce greenhouse emissions. Of course, some other Republicans are upset that they are going to lose jobs from the Keystone pipeline. Trump said it was going to be 28,000 jobs. An analysis by the State Department said it actually created 3,900 jobs. But even these 3,900 jobs, they're not permanent jobs. You build a pipe, you leave. You're done with your job. These are temporary jobs for 6, 9, 12 months. This is not making a better economy. This is giving a temporary job for a temporary project. Also yesterday, I feel bad for transgender troops. I feel bad for them because depending on what president, you're in the Army, you're out of the Army, you're in the Army, you're out of the Army, and here you are taking an oath to defend the country where you live in. You're willing to put your life on the line, and one minute they say you can be in the military, and the next minute you can't be in the military. So yesterday...
It's all based on like what the president wants.
Yes. So Obama allowed transgender troops. Trump did not allow it. Biden now signed an executive order repealing the Trump policy that banned transgender people from serving in the military. You know, the issue is you know, you're a transgender person, you serve in the military during the mid, 2012, 2015, 2016. You're putting in your time. You want to be able to put in your time to get a pension, because you have an X amount of years, and the longer you're in the military, the more pension you receive. You're putting your life on the line. You're defending your country, and then you're told you got to leave.
That's crazy.
Now you're out of the Army for 4 years, and now Joe Biden says, okay, you can go back in. Man, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah,
I'd be really angry. I mean, I'm happy Biden did it. I'm not saying I'm not.
But that's 4 years. Then who's to say whoever, the next president is to be, it won't change again. And
that's right.
Wow.
And by the way, it's not like a couple of people. It's 15,000 troops.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
15,000.
It's 15,000 troops, yeah. So it's not like it's a couple of people.
Wow.
Now, Biden described the move as allowing all qualified Americans to serve their country in uniform. The Human Rights Campaign commended the move, saying it values qualifications over discrimination.
Absolutely. And I say for whoever doesn't agree with it, they can take their butt and defend the country themselves.
That's right.
That's right. They can exchange places. I feel like if anyone is willing to put their life on the line for our country, it's like it shouldn't matter shape, size, color, gender. You're willing to put yourself on the front line for our for our nation.
As Jack Nicholson said in A Few Good Men, I'd rather you just say thank you.
That part.
Exactly.
I'd rather you just say thank you. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
That was yesterday. I missed it.
Yeah. No, you're a day behind. Yesterday was this. Today is this.
Yeah.
Today, Joe Biden also signed executive orders on housing and ending the Justice Department's use of private prisons for criminal defendants. So, in other words, any contract that the United States has with a private prison, they have to abide by that contract. But Joe Biden has instructed the Department of Justice not to re-sign new contracts for more private prisons. One of the biggest things that, about our criminal justice system is the privatization of prisons, the privatization of our criminal justice system. It has made our criminal justice system a for-profit system, and it actually made incentives for governments to arrest people and put them in jail because people were making money from shackling inmates.
Wow.
Biden is just moving and knocking these things out. I'm liking the way he's moving.
Now, he has not done it, because we've talked about this, he has not done it for the Department of Homeland Security yet. Almost all of immigration detention facilities are privately run. They are for-profit institutions. And we have talked about this numerous times. It is extraordinarily cheaper as long as the person is not a danger to society. In danger to society, it's a different situation. But most people are not. It is much cheaper to put an ankle bracelet on somebody, to track their whereabouts, to make sure they show up to court. It's less than $1 a day versus housing them in a jail facility. Because immigration, by the way, immigration detention is not criminal in nature. The only reason to house anybody or detain anybody in an immigration jail is to make sure they show up to their immigration hearing. That is the only reason. Immigration detention is not punishment. It has turned into punishment. But immigration is a civil offense, not a criminal offense, and we are treating immigrants like criminals when they're not. And we have privatized jails. We have privatized the entire detention system for immigrants to make sure they show up to court. And people are making a lot of money from this, from the U.S. government. And they have jails, and they have jail cells and they have beds, and when immigrants are not in those jails and jail cells and beds, these private companies don't make as much money. So there is an incentive to jail everybody. There's an incentive to put as many people as we can in jail because these private companies will make more money. And quite frankly, if the sole reason, the only reason to make sure to put somebody in jail is either because they're a danger to society, then okay, fine, I get it.
Right.
I'm not saying put, Ted Bundy out in the world and let him, kill everybody.
Right.
Okay. But most people are not. So the only reason to put somebody in detention is to make sure they show up to immigration court. Make sure they show up to their immigration officer for deportation. Now, if you're so concerned that this person's going to run away, because back in the day people would run away for sure, there are ankle bracelets you can put on people that track you all over the place. You know exactly where they, instead of putting them in prison. Is it uncomfortable as an immigrant to wear an ankle bracelet? Absolutely. Nobody says it's not comfortable. Okay, but it's certainly much better than sitting in a jail.
Absolutely.
And certainly
without having had committed a crime.
Correct.
For just existing.
Correct. And certainly a lot cheaper for the American taxpayer. But it has nothing to do with the American taxpayer, and it has nothing to do with ensuring somebody actually shows up to court. This has to do with making money on people who are in jail, making money on detaining people and arresting people and putting people in handcuffs. That's what it is. So Joe Biden has ended it for the criminal portion, but he has not said anything yet about Department of Homeland Security.
It's good for the week, man. It's still good for the week. He's doing good.
This is trifling, Yo-Yo.
Trifling.
The woman who stole Nancy Pelosi's computer, Riley Williams, she's now also accused of deleting her presence online and possibly switching devices to destroy evidence. According to prosecutors, Williams messaged other rioters she stole Nancy Pelosi's computer on January 6th during the riots and told them to destroy and delete evidence. She is being charged with trying to sell Nancy Pelosi's computer to the Russians. So, she's getting in hotter and hotter water.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, what is her deleting her account, her online presence, going to do?
Because I think on social media there was a lot of discussion about what they were going to do. So this was, what all the lawyers are trying to say was this was not a pre-planned thing. Oh. Okay, because there was no conspiracy to overthrow the United States of America. But if there was discussion before these riots started that we're going to go down, we're going to go enter the Congress, we're going to do XYZ to Congress people, we're going to go try to kill AOC, we're going to bring handcuffs and try to overthrow or make sure that this vote doesn't happen to elect Joe Biden on the Electoral College. If there was discussions online, you now have a conspiracy, which is an agreement. Conspiracy just means I agree to do something. An agreement by individuals to go and try to overthrow the United States of America, which is, potentially death penalty.
Wow.
Right. But so that's what's going on right now.
I'm sure somebody got a screenshot.
Yeah. Now, with all that being said, this woman who perhaps...
what are they charging her with? How are they charging this woman?
All right. This woman perhaps conspired to overthrow the United States of America, perhaps stole Nancy Pelosi's computer, perhaps tried to sell it to the Russians. Right now, do you know where she is?
In her living room, watching Bradshaw live.
In her living room, not watching Bradshaw live, but certainly in her living room, in home confinement.
Wow.
She is not even...
Home confinement?
She is not even in jail. What a freaking disgrace. Now take a look at her. Do you think that if she had dark skin, curly hair, brown skin, that she would be
and stole the
sitting,
speaker of the U.S.
that she would
computer?
be, that she would, and stole the speaker of the House's computer, tried to sell it to the Russians? Yeah. Do you think if she was this guy on the left?
Kalief, isn't that Kalief?
Yes.
He stole
he stole
what,
a
knapsack,
a backpack. Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Right,
and
then
he went to Rikers for 3 years.
And they whooped his butt, and then he got out, and then didn't he kill himself right after?
Yeah, that was about a decade ago, exactly. So,
it's a whole different story here.
Right, but now we're talking about two different time periods. That was 2010, 2020, but the point is the point, which is
it's not that
right.
The principle.
I mean, it wasn't like it was 100 years ago, but the point is the point.
No, but the principle.
Okay, I mean, everybody sees what is obvious to everybody.
Wow. Home confinement.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
If she was black, she definitely either would be dead or in jail getting whooped by officers at this very moment. Beat up.
Yeah. Well, according to statistics from the Johns Hopkins University, we still have coronavirus hanging around. That's why you guys are doing the show from home, and I'm in the studio lonely here by myself. It's very lonely here in the studio. I hate this freaking coronavirus. When can you come back?
I hear crickets back there.
There's now more than 423,000 deaths in the United States attributed to coronavirus. There were a total of 405,000 American deaths during all of World War II. 400, let me say that again. 423,000 deaths in America, coronavirus. What are we now? 9 months into it? 10 months into it? World War II was several years.
March will be a year.
405,000 in what people say was the greatest war of all time.
Wow.
And it looks like me and you, although I'm putting myself in young Americans, but all young, healthy Americans, or healthy, or middle-aged and young, healthy Americans, will not have access to the vaccine till at least the summer.
Really, the summer?
Yeah. Now, Joe Biden says he hopes that the U.S. is going to be able to administer 1.5 million doses of coronavirus vaccines a day, but that's really 750,000 people, because remember, you need 2 shots. Biden is scheduled to take executive actions as early as Thursday to reopen federal marketplaces selling Affordable Care Act health plans and to lower recent barriers to joining Medicaid. Some good news. Americans are becoming more willing to get the vaccine when it's available. 66% said they will get vaccinated, up from 51% in October. In Israel, they have vaccinated more than a majority of their population, and they came out with statistics that said those people who even got the first shot, not even the second, were almost 50% less likely to even have coronavirus. So in Israel, where they're doing a very good job of vaccinating their population, the number of coronavirus deaths, the number of coronavirus illnesses have dropped drastically in the last 60 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we
after
that, because we need to, man. This is it's out of hand. But I have, like I said, I feel good about Biden and his administration. I feel like they're gonna actually get it together.
Yeah, they just need to invoke the Defense Appropriations Act and get every company to make this vaccine. Period. Okay, because until everybody gets the vaccine, we're going to be living like this. I don't want to say it's misery. It's not misery. We're alive. We're breathing. But it's certainly not the life that anybody wants.
Uncomfortable.
It's not the life that anybody wants.
And life is short.
That's
right. You've taken away years of our short life that we already have.
That is very, very true. That is very, very true. Damn. I will not drink my tea until it's time.
I have milk in my tea.
One of the biggest news stories from the inauguration was the actual fashion.
J-Lo's outfit.
Yeah, Gabriela Hearst, the designer of Joe Biden's inauguration gown, said the inspiration for the dress was unity. Unity makes strength, and it's needed for the road ahead. So, did you like, Vanessa? You're in the fashion business. Let's have your opinions on everybody.
I love the
let's see her
lady's
picture.
look.
Let's see a picture, Julia.
Literally from head to toe. Well,
no,
this
that's
is J-Lo.
That's J-Lo.
Not
Where's the first lady? Yeah.
But head to toe, she was stunning. I loved the matching. Mask. The color was just so hopeful. It was amazing. I loved both her looks.
She had 50 flowers from all 50 states plus the U.S. territories embroidered on her dress.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's what I liked about that. Just the symbolism. They just look great.
Deep.
What about Michelle Obama? Did you like Michelle's look? Everybody was going crazy
that
over.
There was the showstopper.
Everybody was going crazy over Michelle, right?
I get chills thinking back to the inauguration fashion because I really was I loved every look.
Yeah, she was head.
And then Kamala.
Well, we didn't get to Kamala yet, but Michelle, she was head to toe plum and burgundy ensemble by LA-based Sergio Hudson. He's a famous designer. I have no idea. I only know immigration.
May have to Google.
Okay. But. And Vice President Kamala Harris, you liked what she wore too?
Of course.
She wore a coat by Christopher John Rogers, a young black designer.
Beautiful color.
Now, many noticed the theme of purple worn by the women at the inauguration, and that was not an accident. Purple is the color that appears when you blend red and blue together, so it was a symbol of political unity. But also purple is the color of the suffragette movement for women's rights.
Wow.
Yes. And what did you think of Bernie Sanders' outfit? He may have been the biggest star of the inauguration. When he unwittingly became a meme when he was photographed bundled up and hunched over while sitting in his chair. Many people thought Bernie looked grumpy, while others noted he's a 79-year-old man. He's just really freaking cold.
Right.
Yeah. Now, lots of people were a fan of his mittens, which were gifted to Bernie by Julie Stellar of Minneapolis, who founded Stellar Handcrafted Goods, a Minnesota-based company that upcycles wool sweaters and other materials into handcrafted mittens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. I saw that he took the picture, and put it on top of a sweatshirt, and he actually.
Oh my God! There he is with us now. Bernie's with us.
Love that.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
Yeah. All the proceeds. I forget what organization.
The proceeds go to an organization. It's like $45. So yeah, it's to charity. There it is. Yeah.
And
that's pretty cool.
And I have some bad news for all the thirsty ladies out there. Michael B. Jordan, he is off the market. He has become Instagram official with Steve Harvey's stepdaughter.
Lori.
You like that? You like that couple?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. What do you think? I'm interested in hearing from you, Yo-Yo. I think they're so cute. No?
Is there a big age difference between them?
I think it is fake.
You think it's fake?
Absolutely.
Why do you think it's fake?
I think the way they are throwing it in our face, they're literally shoving it down our throats.
Maybe. Do you think it was a publicity thing to get the stepdaughter some publicity, or Michael B. Jordan, or both, or?
No, they're both good off that. I don't think so. I don't think it's fake. I think it's real love.
I don't know. She was formerly with Sean Diddy Combs' son, Justin Combs.
She was with Justin Combs. She was with Diddy, his dad.
Oh,
she was with Future.
She was with both?
Yeah.
Son and? She was with both son and?
Yes.
Oh, so that's really uncomfortable. I didn't know that. I didn't know she was with both son and. Wait. Go back. She was with Diddy and Diddy's son?
Yes.
That's really uncomfortable.
Yes. Not at the same time.
I know, but it doesn't really matter. That would be really uncomfortable.
I'm telling you, I know that this is a publicity stunt. This is a come up for both of them. Michael B. Jordan finally came out with the Sexiest Man Alive title. They want to see him with a black woman, finally. They just want to see him in a relationship. Lori Harvey has gone with probably like 5 rappers within the last year. So she's kind of known as the male, or like the female male, because she does rappers exactly how rappers do females. She like goes out with them, gets treated like a queen, and then drops them. And it's like Future is like one of the biggest players in the world, and she even played him. So this is like a cutesy come up for both of them, but it ain't real.
So there was also Trey Songz. She was with Justin Combs for like 2 months. So apparently
that's really awkward. You know, who is she
Should
with
we
first,
even
the
count
father
Justin?
or the son?
It doesn't matter if you were in a relationship.
So awkward.
2 months is still 2 months.
I'm just like, oh man.
Brad, that's like somebody
like cringing.
A girl going out with your son and then going out with after.
I'm just cringing about that. That's awful.
It ain't real.
He did go with Diddy. I didn't know that.
It's caca.
Did you see Dwyane Wade posted a picture, a nude, for his 39th birthday? Did you check that one out? So yeah, he stripped down via Instagram for his 39th birthday, and his kids reacted in the comments. Yeah, one said birthday behavior. He captioned it birthday behavior on January 18th, which was a mirror selfie with his wife, Gabriela Union. But Zaire commented, the oldest son, he goes, this isn't what I wanted to wake up to. And Zaya, she, a 13-year-old, wrote, are you chill? I just got on.
No, ayo, chill.
Ayo, chill. I just got on. Right. I got it now.
Oh my God.
Right.
That's so funny. I just got on. Oh my God.
Again,
I love them though. They do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah, you like that you didn't mind. That you didn't mind.
No, I definitely love them. That's real love right there.
Right. And finally, Justin Timberlake and actress Jessica Biel welcomed their second child. His name is Phineas.
Don't care.
Oh, they're so private. They're so
you don't
do that.
You don't care about them?
The biggest
I don't care about them. After Justin Timberlake did Janet Jackson wrong the way he did, he mistreated and he was very foul.
From the Super Bowl?
Yes, at the Super Bowl, because Janet Jackson lost a bunch of deals after that when he's the one who actually pulled off the thing. She didn't want that. She didn't know that it was going to happen.
Well, you really hold, but that was over a decade ago. You're holding a grudge against him still?
He did not. Because he did not step up and have her back when he should have. He went on and got all these deals, and she was blacklisted for years. I don't care about him.
You don't care about him, and I don't care about him either. I just ripped up the card. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm a huge JT fan, and I doubt that was an accident, and Janet didn't know that was going to happen. Okay.
She didn't.
Okay. Right.
And even if she did, that means that he did as well, and he did not stand up for her and have her back.
Well,
sorry,
I ripped it up. I'm no longer a Justin Timberlake fan. Thank you very much.
Good.
Yo-Yo for filling me in. Yo-Yo doesn't like him. I don't like him. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. Yo-Yo says, I don't like the guy, then Uncle Brad don't like the guy either. That's how I roll.
Vice versa. You already know it's vice versa. I got your back, too. Oh, guys, wait, before we leave. So in the comments, Violet and Fiona Scott Blackwood have the same surname. So right now they're trying to figure out if they're related or not. How amazing is that?
The only way to do it is you have to do a 23andMe, and you spit in the thing. I think it's like $39 or something. You spit in the thing.
So you can find out?
You can find out, yeah. You go to 23andMe, you spit in it, and you send it off, and they send you who your DNA relatives are, anybody else who spits in the thing. So you both go spit in the thing, spend the $39, and you'll find out if you're related.
Y'all should do it.
Yeah, that's right. Free plug for 23andMe. Okay, right. They're not even paying me to do that.
The squad, a mess. Yo-Yo got mad. Yeah, Yo-Yo's out here. I don't know. You can't talk about JT like that around me. JT is a boss. Okay, Rock J. Roberts. Exactly. Exactly. I agree.
Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.